Greetings from MIT OpenCourseWare Centric Wiki World University and School from Gardnerville, Nevada, at a public library. And in this WUAS news and question and answer for Monday, May 26, 2025, I'd like to, as we wait to see if people will join this open WUS news and question and answer, share a little news with you about recent developments at World University and School, WUAS, which is planning free online MIT OpenCourseWare centric wiki, Grow with Google WUAS, World University and School degrees, planned in all 50 US states and in all 200 countries and in their main languages for students from their homes, matriculating for free degrees, and also for wiki schools, for people-to-people, open teaching and learning for people in potentially all 200 countries and in their main languages, and even for speakers of all 7,159 known living languages. So greetings from MIT OpenCourseWare Centric Wiki World University and School. How are you? I hope this email and this WUS news and question and answer on Monday, May 26, 2025 finds you well. So the first item I'd like to share with you is, again, glad to have begun Bangladesh World University and School in Google Sites. You can visit its website. And in the Bengali language, for free to students online WUAS degrees from home, accessible from the Bangladesh World University and School wiki subject page, which is wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/Bangladesh, which is accessible from the nation states wiki subject page, a main subject page at World University and School, where you'll, with time, find all 200 countries, major online MIT OpenCourseWare centric WUS World University and School universities. There are about 173 million Bangladeshis in Bangladesh and about 265 million Bangla speakers worldwide. It's the 7th largest language in the world, and World University and School, as an example, too, is glad to be developing Bangladesh World University and School in the Bangla language as we seek to find matriculating Bangladeshis and Bangla speakers to enroll at World University and School for free online degrees from home. So further, and in some of these regards, in what ways could MIT OpenCourseWare Centric Wiki World University and School communicate with, for example, Dr. Vishal Varia at Rosary School Rajkot in Gujarat, India, as its head, and possibly to communicate in communication with Grow with Google WUAS? And could Dr. Vishalvarya be in communication with Sundar Pichai and Peter Norvig, two Google and Alphabet heads? And about what also high school students, not only in India and in Ahmedabad in Gujarat, but also in Bangladesh and might benefit from regarding MIT OpenCourseWare centric Wiki World University and School degrees online from home. And also, especially per career counseling. So glad that Dr. Vishalvarya, I think, or that the Rosary School Rajkot in Ahmedabad, India, recently tweeted about career counseling. I think I don't know how fully career counseling has made it into the Indian school system, or how long Rosary School Rajkot has been offering career counseling, for example. But I think it was Dr. Vishal Varia posted on the X platform, Rosary School Rajkot at Rosary tweets, "Not sure what to do after class 10? Get expert career guidance at Rosary High School. Book your session now with 2 telephone numbers and 2 individuals' email addresses at Rosary School Rajkot. And the hashtags career guidance, hashtag Rosary High School, hashtag student support." Exciting. So free online WUS college degrees, and you can go to the main wiki link for this, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/the college at World University and School, or even free international baccalaureate or similar high school degrees from home. And there's the IB Baccalaureate Program, Diploma and Program Wiki subject at World University and School. And if World University and School could accredit these, so could career counseling and career counselors in, for example, Rosary School Rajkot and in Bangladesh, let students know about these potential free online educational and degree opportunities at World University and School in the Bangla language at the college at World University and School, or in the India in Rosary School Rajkot, and could we even, WUAS, offer international baccalaureate diploma and program to, say, students in the 10th, grade 10 at Rosary School Rajkot for the last 2 years of high school, so that they might, if they're on a sort of college path or college track, find their way to universities with an IB high school diploma, for example, from WUAS, if we could orchestrate these. And how to get this information into career counselors in many of India's high schools and Bangladesh's high schools, in the Bangla language in Bangladesh and West Bengal in India, and in the 22 scheduled languages in India as well. So, and here's the very beginning of the English language World University and School in Google Sites, paralleling the Bangladesh World University and School in Google Sites in Bangla. This will potentially make translation of courses and much else, being in Google Sites, that is, possible in with Google AI and machine learning and machine translation, for example. Further, in what ways can MIT OCW-centric wiki World University and School, WUS, become a bright beacon on information technology companies' innovation growth horizon? Both, one, the nonprofit MIT OCW-centric wiki World University and School wing, worlduniversityandschool.org, and 2, the WS Corporation academic press at WS, planned in 7,159 known living languages, with machine and human translation, and the physical digital WUS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, hospital technologies, and think Walmart in 19 out of 200 countries, where WUS plans to be in each of all 200 countries per the Olympics, and in their main and official languages. And the current beginning URL for the academic press and the WS Corporation, the WS Educational Services stores is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. So free MIT OpenCourseWare-centric wiki World University and School is growing, and grow with Google WUAS. For free to students, online degrees, bachelor, PhD, law, MD, IB, high school, similar, AAAS, first the 2 years of an undergraduate degree, for an undergraduate degree, and master's degrees, first in English, then in each of all 200 countries and in their main languages. And see Peter Norvig's incredible Toolify AI WUAS, that's a hashtag in Twitter, hashtag Toolify AI WUS, revolutionizing education with machine learning and AI, hashtag World University in School. So all the best, abolitionally, friendly greetings, Scott McLeod, that's myself. So abolitionally, abolish the wrongful buying and selling of people in the illegal sex, drugs, violence, etc. industries internationally, and their latent networks of violence, and potentially to protect students. And as we seek also that World University and School to code for many or most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet, for free wiki education, potentially to end poverty as well by distributing Stanford MinePi cryptocurrency, free money daily, and to protect people in the process. So the recording for today will be posted at our main current YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Scott McLeod World University /books /videos, sorry. So to the WS News and question and answer. So first wing, World University and School, WUS, first of 2 WUS wings. It's a 501c3 or similar. Check out the GuideStar profile, guidestar.org/profile/27-3305368. Regarding CC4, ocw.mit.edu centric wiki World University and School, which current beginning website is worlduniversityandschool.org. Agenda item 0, the recording of last Monday's May 19th, 2025, open WUS monthly business meeting for hashtag MIT OCW centric wiki World University and School, WS Press, regarding also hashtag career counseling WUS, regarding Bangladesh WUS, hashtag grow with Google WUS, and in a hashtag realistic virtual earth, and so much more is posted. Check out the video recording as video minutes of monthly business meeting. Monthly business meeting, to bring it in contrast to WS News and question and answer, since last Monday's 10 a.m. WS monthly business meeting was new, meeting on a Monday, since I was on previous Saturday at a Stanford global education conference regarding community colleges too. The difference between WS monthly business meeting, loosely conducted in the manner of Quakers, and WS News and question and answer is that monthly business meeting in many ways takes a focus on the whole previous month, whereas the WS News and question and answers are more week to week. That's one difference. Agenda item 1. So, remarkable new set of developments regarding artificial general intelligence. This next first agenda item 1 is much about genetic engineering and in World University and School seeking to create a realistic virtual earth for synthetic biology, for example, and for even aging reversal and extreme longevity. So we can learn and teach WikiWise and for free degrees, potentially for a long time, for example. So agenda item 1, what happens when you combine Google's hashtag artificial general intelligence, hashtag deep mind with an article from Google blog, AlphaFold 3 predicts the structure and interactions of all of life's molecules with Google's isomorphic labs, with its focus to hashtag accelerate drug discovery, and 4, hashtag aging reversal and hashtag extreme longevity, hashtag gene drug therapies in a realistic virtual Earth for synthetic biology. So that's a set of tweets, and the potential to bring artificial general intelligence to possibly develop further and work with Google's AlphaFold 3 server to predict all of life's molecules and bring it together with isomorphic labs to accelerate drug development offers remarkable new opportunities for aging reversal genetics research and extreme longevity genetics research, much other research regarding producing molecules and accelerating drug development. And newly with, for example, DeepMind and artificial general intelligence, which DeepMind I heard of most recently and newly with some remarkable recent developments at the Google I/O 2025 Developers Conference, Google Input Output 2025 Developers Conference last Tuesday and Wednesday. So that was a set of tweets, and I retweeted another Twitter post World University and School made in World University, in World Univ and SCH, our Twitter feeds handle, developing a hashtag realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal with hashtag AlphaFold server, where again, AlphaFold 3 predicts the structure and interactions of all of life's molecules. Check out the blog post from Google. How with at Dr. Califf _ FDA, the former FDA commissioner, Rob Califf. So how to do develop a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal with AlphaFold 3 server predicting all of life's molecules and for aging reversal molecules, extreme longevity molecules, and regarding FDA approval. Stay tuned. And that I also retweeted a tweet from the California Institute for Regenerative Medicine. The first stage of the Neurona Therapeutics clinical trial is supported by CIRM, California Institute for Regenerative Medicine. Investigational therapies that receive RMAT designation are eligible to receive expedited development review and planning guidance from the US _ FDA Twitter handle. So all of this is in a blog post from last week, beginning Acacia astrophyllata, ironwood species. Check them out further. Agenda item 2. Started in 2008 in SF, hashtag Google I/O begins or began on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025, with World University and School planned in all 7,159 living and extinct languages too, and in a Grow with Google WUS program. How best, Peter Norvig and Sundar Pichai, to collaborate, code WUS further. So how best to proceed, potentially with the recent Google I/O conference, developers conference finished, how best to code WUS further. And in all 7,159 known living languages, as large language models with AI, with machine learning, and similar. And in that World University and School is in a Grow with Google WUS program too. And that set of tweets retweeted the Google Developers Group tweets, Google Dev Groups. Don't want to miss that key Google I/O session. We've got you covered. The official live stream schedule is live, helping you navigate all the exciting announcements and deep dives. Plan ahead and maximize your learning. So it's got a very interesting graphic as well. And I posted this set of tweets and the Google Dev tweet to LinkedIn as well. And you'll find it also in my daily blog from last week, May 2025, beginning Aleutian Shield Firm, Polysticum, Aleutian, Aleutian. Agenda item 3, further about AGI, artificial general intelligence, and regarding WUS research. Incredible, hashtag Google I/O 2025 announced it is developing AGI, hashtag artificial general intelligence on Twitter. And at 8:25 in the recording of the developers conference, the first session, Sundar Pichai, regarding hashtag word research and regarding hashtag university research WUAS in a realistic virtual earth, regarding also my upcoming book, Society Information Technology and the Global University at World Univ and SCH. With artificial and general intelligence becoming more easy to use, and with its research focus announced at this Google I/O 2025 conference, potentially it will become a way to focus the second half of my Society, Information Technology, and Global University book, upcoming book, to be published by the Twitter feed for the academic press at WUS is WUS Press, and with a focus on, first, research with artificial general intelligence in museums, which World University and School seeks to build out in a realistic virtual earth. All museums ever, time slide back to 1896 when the Smithsonian University Museum in Washington, D.C. was partly being built, and let artificial and general intelligence help one do research then, both in the Smithsonian Museum, and around that time, late 1890s, the Library of Congress was first built as well. So World University and School is seeking to bring artificial general intelligence AI tools for WUS research to our students in a realistic virtual earth for museums all ever, and in a realistic virtual earth for libraries all ever, such that, for example, a researcher, a matriculated student at WUS, could go into a virtual Library of Congress in, say, 1900 and find pictures of books on shelves and pick a book off the shelf and help use artificial general intelligence to help find such book titles and find out more information about them. And differently, say, than similar researcher going into this realistic virtual library for the Library of Congress in 1910, 10 years later, and using artificial general intelligence for research. Did the books on the shelf, if the books on the shelves, say a photograph of the same shelf in 1900 and 1910, showed new books, could we access those books today, in 2025, and in the years ahead? Thanks partly to a realistic virtual Earth for museums, a realistic virtual Earth for libraries, and with artificial general intelligence. Amazing developments with artificial general intelligence. Agenda item 4, a realistic virtual Earth for nation states, a realistic virtual Earth for cities too, and also regarding a Siemens invitation to WUS, following my having tweeted this. So World University and School, I found this Twitter post from a German geographer in Australia who posted a picture of cities by size in Europe, European cities, which were the largest. Moscow's the largest, and wonder how a realistic virtual Earth for cities and nation states could help, as they grow, countries and World University and School students to begin to learn more about nation states and cities, for example. But what Siemens posted or invited me to was a conference in June, a webinar on fire in potentially their realistic virtual Earth simulations or similar. And Siemens is an industrial engineering company that does much with architecture. Potentially, as World University and School develops a realistic virtual Earth for cities and for nation states, with, say, in Google Street View with Time Slider, Maps Earth, and for simulating city buildings, industrial buildings, and even robotics, potentially working with Siemens, possibly, will help us develop a realistic virtual Earth for cities and nation states, where Siemens Industrial Engineering Company might focus on the fire aspect of developing simulations in a realistic Earth, where World University and School might and will focus on a myriad of other aspects of realistic virtual Earth for nation states, a realistic virtual Earth for cities. So posted a set of tweets, 2 sets of tweets about this, retweeting Simon Kustemeyer graphic of cities by size in Europe. First set of tweets with hashtag virtual Scotland, hashtag virtual California, and hashtag virtual Oregon. Tweeted before. So these Twitter posts, these Twitter hashtags are something I've tweeted over recent years. In one, hashtag realistic virtual Earth, and see Peter Norvig's incredible Tulify AI WUS article, Revolutionizing Education with Machine Learning and AI, which mentions a realistic virtual Earth for the first time that I know of, other than World University and School. How can we build out a realistic virtual Earth for a city, a realistic virtual Earth for nation states, a realistic virtual Earth for states, where the state plays a significant role in anthropological and sociological academic literature, social science literature too, and how best also to hashtag Tulify AI WUS for hashtag WUAS places, such as nation states, such as California, virtual Oregon, virtual Scotland, virtual cities, virtual states, and similar. So the set of tweets, the Twitter post that Simon Kustemacher in Australia, whose Twitter handle is Simon German 600, I think, posted Europe's capital cities ranked by size, area, that is. Check these set of tweets out. The second tweet in these regards I Twitter posted was in one hashtag realistic virtual earth and the Toolify AI article from Peter Norvig, hashtag realistic virtual earth for cities, hashtag realistic virtual earth for nation states, hashtag realistic virtual earth for countries, hashtag realistic virtual earth for states, hashtag realistic virtual earth for California, hashtag realistic virtual earth for Oregon. What will they look like? And how will they iterate? And emerging also from or in conversation with a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs in Northern California for further ethnographic study in a variety of ways and for soaking at home. So Siemens sent an invitation to World University and School, Siemens Hot Topics for Engineering series, the digitalization of fire safety webinar is the webinar that I'll attend in third week of June in some of these regards too, potentially. So I posted about this in my daily blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com in May of 2025, beginning San Diego Spine Flower. Check it out. Agenda item 5. So World University and School is growing partly from monthly business meeting, partly from WS News and Question and Answers, partly from posting to social media. So agenda item 5, set of tweets in these regards. Why is social media and posting to social media, those are hashtags, social media and hashtag posting to social media, so powerful? And or why are sharing messages in networks, WUAS, hashtag networks, WUS, in a hashtag distributed computing system with other people in the network, compelling and influencing? And hashtag Prof. M. Castells, who wrote The Rise of the Network Society, first book in a trilogy, The Information Age. Set of tweets in these regards. Cool. I asked Gemini these questions. Why is posting to social media so powerful and potentially influential? And this will potentially feature in my upcoming book, Society, Information Technology, and the Global University as well. And Gemini gave a great set of 2 responses. And check those out. The Gemini link is there. Agenda item 6. Lakeport, California, not that far from Harbin Hot Springs. Lakeport Yacht Club sailing program, question mark, question mark, question mark. Brainstorming. Great to meet and talk with you, Commodore Kip Knorr. And further, Commodore Kip Knorr, Friday, May 16th, 2025, an eventual WUAS representative to Alaska. Well, I have taught sailing as a teenager in Massachusetts and was at the Cuddy Hunk Yacht Club and was for 3 different years. And I also grew up in this sailing program as a kid and was exploring brainstorming wise about starting a sailing program out of the Lakeport Yacht Club, which has a nice yacht club building on the waterfront there, and shared this idea with both the Lakeport City Council people, Shannon Delgado and Victor Fernandez and Hillary Britton, and then further met Kip Knorr, the Commodore of the Lakeport Yacht Club, and talked to him about it, and wondered about doing that, creating a Lakeport Yacht Club sailing program this summer for 8 weeks, seeking tuition on week to week potentially, and starting with maybe 5 rowboats and then 5 10-foot sailboats of the same class, and will not pursue this idea further, partly because there's not enough time, and partly because I don't think that Lakeport Yacht Club waterfront is somehow sheltered enough for kids. But in talking with Commodore Kip Knorr on Friday, May 16th, 2025, and regarding having asked him if he might become an eventual WUS representative to Alaska, he went to university in Alaska, graduating in 1973 in Fairbanks, which is quite inland and sort of in the center of Alaska. And could he become, with his having gone to college there, a representative for World University and School to Alaska? And as we seek to offer our free online degrees from home in Alaska, and even with using Lego robotics kits and also the Scratch programming language for WUS home robotics. And so that prospective students in Alaska who might matriculate for free degrees would get possibly a Lego robotics kit from the WUS Educational Services stores mailed to them, or they could go into a WUS Educational Services store in Fairbanks or Juneau or Anchorage, Alaska, and then begin to play with robots, making robots from, say, the Lego Spike Prime robotics kit, and programming them with the Scratch programming language, the visual drag and drop block programming language out of the MIT Media Lab and the Harvard Graduate School of Education. Scratch programming language is free, and this would be potentially very interesting for Alaskans, for example, as well as Californians, California prospective students, to begin to learn to play with robotics and to code with the Scratch programming language from home and get free online degrees from home as well in the process. For prospective engineers, for prospective coders, programmers, and similar. Agenda item 7. How best could hashtag World Universitians at World Univ and SCH help to build the hashtag WUS Multimedia Hospital Room in hashtag Canyon 94516 shop? And with Google Beams, 6 video cameras on a smartphone, 2 on each side, 1 at the top, maybe 8 video cameras for 3D. And potentially, which is also scalable, not only it's for 3D video conferencing, emerging from Google Beam, a recent announcement at Google I/O 2025, that emerges also from the previous project or a parallel project, Google Starline, but also in exploring building a WS multimedia hospital room, possibly with such 6 or 8 cameras on a smartphone or on a wall, on each of 4 walls, for example, and on the ceiling for 3D generation. Do it also scaling down. So not only on a smartphone, but on miniature, tiny cameras at the G cell view level and the G molecule view levels. Interesting possibilities as World University and School also seeks to create and build a realistic virtual Earth. So in some of these regards, in a very interesting meeting from my perspective at Emerald Bay State Park on Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Emerald Bay State Park is near Lake Tahoe in the Sierra Mountains. I met two cell biologists as I was pulled over looking at Emerald Bay, Suvrajit and Madhuja. And they both work in San Francisco or South San Francisco as cell biologists at Calico Labs. Suvrajit works there, and at Denali Therapeutics in South San Francisco, and Madhuja works there. They're both from Calcutta, India, Northeast India, having come to the States about 10 years ago. And fascinatingly, Calico Labs is tackling the area of aging, field of aging, and Denali Therapeutics is tackling regeneration. And they're both, I think, senior scientists at these companies. And wondering how we could, World University and School, as we seek to build a realistic virtual Earth for aging reversal, for extreme longevity. Think Google Street View with Time Slider, maps Earth, and at the cellular level and the molecular view level, how we could collaborate. Could Suvrajit at Calico Labs, which is a Google company, and Madhuja at Denali Therapeutics even come over to Canyon, California, with other Calico and Madhuja and Denali cell biologists and molecular biologists, and help create a WUS hospital room for aging reversal and extreme longevity. Think Google Time Slider in Google Street View with their knowledge. Agenda item 8, hatching a plan further to move into a newly safe Canyon 94516 and a worldwide abolition movement too. This is an ongoing focus. Dear Ed Smythe, MD, Kaiser Permanente NorCal, John Sargent, MD, Tufts Medical Center in the Boston area, greater Boston area, U.S. Senator from Massachusetts and former Harvard Law Professor Elizabeth Warren, Sid Pin Mazumdar in Health and Human Services in the federal government, Ma, Jane McLeod, Peter Norvig, Google AI, all greetings. As a follow-up email, could the U.S. military have made its move in making 670 Ridgecrest Road, Canyon 94516, newly safe on Saturday, I think, and with U.S. federal law and state of California law and Stanford University law, too, all working together in new ways. Read on. The text I just shared with you and my mother and friends at Smythe in Berkeley, Pin Mazumdar in HHS in the greater DC area. After soaking in crab cooker hot springs in the Eastern Sierra and having a great conversation with about 10 people in the hot pool there, which conversations seemed to be, from my perspective, opening possibly because of the waters themselves, the warm waters themselves. I got back to my vehicle and received Google Photos message with about 5 pictures of 670 Ridgecrest Canyon, California, 94516. I think mostly sunrises. And wondered what these signify regarding also my seeking to move into a newly safe canyon 94516 and having left that place on September 30th, 2020 to move into a safe house north of Berkeley in El Cerrito for a little more than 2 years, then having, I would say, fled for my life to the eastern seaboard in about August of 2022, where I was for 2.5 years in Western Pennsylvania and Massachusetts, and then having come back about New Year 2025, wondering how moving forward into a newly safe canyon is going, and potentially with US federal law working in new ways, with state of California law, possibly with Stanford Law School too, effectively. So all the best, abolitionally, best wishes, Scott Gordon K. MacLeod, Canyon blog post label, and check the letter out. So I signed off on this letter to about 75 or 6 people with some aging reversal genetics Twitter posts. So fascinating to learn. Hashtag Google Calico Labs is tackling aging. The calicolabs.com URL, and the Denali Therapeutics.com URL is focusing on regeneration. How could hashtag MIT OCW centric wiki, World Univ and SCH, hashtag WUS genetics best collaborate to develop a physical digital hashtag realistic virtual earth, hashtag for aging reversal in Canyon, hashtag Canyon 94516. I also shared to these 75 people or so MIT Tech Review article from 2016, Google's long, strange lifespan trip. Why does a mole rat live 30 years, but a mouse only 3? With 1.3 billion in the bank, Google's anti-aging spinout, Calico, is rich enough to find out, by Antonio Regalado, a senior biotech writer at the MIT Tech Review magazine. And further, in these regards, in PPPS, another set of tweets, which I've touched on above as well. What happens when you combine Google's hashtag artificial general intelligence, hashtag DeepMind, with hashtag AlphaFold3 predicts the structure and interactions of all of life's molecules, with hashtag G isomorphic labs to hashtag accelerate drug discovery for aging reversal, extreme longevity, gene drug therapies in a realistic virtual earth for synthetic biology. Check them out. What do you think? Agenda item 9. I was driving west over the Sierras on Friday and stopped at the Tall Man Museum, and which is history of Placerville, California, and very interesting museum, and talked with a couple of the docents or curators there, one of whom suggested I go behind the building on the far side of this county building of this, on the other side of the street, and talk with people there, potentially about a realistic virtual earth for history, a realistic virtual earth for museums, a realistic virtual earth for libraries, a realistic virtual earth for archaeology. So I went to the Marilyn Ferguson Research Center and Library, and regarding historical research related to El Dorado County, in the El Dorado County Historical Society in Placerville, and talked with a couple of docents and curators, I think, there. Fascinating possibilities if El Dorado County could add all their data, their artifacts digitized to a realistic virtual earth for history, a realistic virtual earth for museums. And if not only could they do that when the platform is up and running, but where we all as individuals and possibly all historical societies could add to such an emerging realistic virtual earth for history, for museums, for libraries, for archaeology, for anthropology, such that we build this together iteratively in a fascinating co-constitutional way. And new form of history, new method of history. So check out the blog post. It begins Pine Hill Ceanothus rodericki in these regards. I think from Friday, May 23rd, 2025 in my blog, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com, and regarding World University and School seeking to build a realistic virtual earth for everything, for history, for field sites, for classrooms. So the second of two wings, the WUS Press, the WUS Corporation, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California, for an academic press in 7,159 languages with machine translation. Check out the main beginning URL right now, worlduniversityandschool.org, academicpress.html. Agenda item A. This is regarding an invitation, 3 or 4 emails from Trent Smith, and regarding an invitation to a Rippling company lunch, a Rippling lunch, where he's an account executive, where Rippling is based in San Francisco and other cities, is an all-in-one HR, human resources, finance, and IT, information technologies, software company, valued at 13.5 billion people, according to one website I found. And Rippling's Trent Smith emailed me on, I think, a third time at least, on Tuesday, May 20th. Exciting to explore this. I replied to him, as well as to Ed Smythe, MD, the named chief academic medical officer at World University and Schools, medical schools, Planning 200. Luca Moretti, the field representative in Lake County, California, in Congressman Mike Thompson's office, and Sid Mazumdar in Health and Human Services in the greater DC area. With, I think, not only Trent Smith, the account executive who reached out to me regarding World University and School and Rippling, having gone to college in Chico, California, but also where Congressman Mike Thompson, Democratic California District 4, went to college for perhaps 2 degrees. Interesting potential opportunity for World University and School, the WUS Corporation, to work with Rippling, possibly. And also, I emailed back further to Trent Smith that World University and School has a partnering email with Stanford MinePi cryptocurrency. And regarding tokens too, where Sundar Pichai had announced a dramatic increase in the number of tokens that Google's IT infrastructure could process. right in the beginning of Google I/O 2025 on Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Exciting possibilities. This would be a huge step forward for World University and School to begin to work with Rippling. Its CEO is Parker Conrad, and its general counsel is Vanessa Wu. So hoping to hear back from Trent Smith in these regards. Thanks, best regards, friendly Quaker greetings, abolitionally, yogically, Scott G.K. McLeod. And see the blog post beginning Butte County Meadow Foam from May of 2025 with further information. Rippling.com is the URL for Rippling. So agenda item B, identity and WUS planning to code for most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet from you at World University. wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org/wiki/you at World University. And this is regarding an article that Don Tapscott, whom I may have met or have come in communication with some 10 years ago. He posted on LinkedIn an article titled, Canada Needs a Digital Infrastructure for a New Economy. What is that? In my upcoming book also, Society, Information Technology, and the Global University, has a focus on the global economy, the new economy. And this article also appeared in Toronto's Globe and Mail newspaper. And this article mentions the issue of digital identity, which is something that World University and School, in seeking to code for most or many of all 7.9 billion people on the planet in all 200 countries, could begin to participate in further defining and coding for example, digital identity and digital infrastructure. Also with regards to a realistic virtual Earth for nation states, a realistic virtual Earth for cities, for example. Read more. The article is very interesting. In the blog post beginning Aleutian shield fern polysticum, scott-mccloud.blogspot.com in May of 2025. And agenda item C, regarding Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency, and a message that came through on my Stanford MindPi app on my smartphone from Nicholas, a co-founder and the lead tech person, regarding Pi Network Ventures make headlines last week as a 100 million initiative to support startups advancing Pi's adoption and real-life applications. If you know any top-tier startup companies, spread the message. Hashtag Nicholas Pi, at Nicholas Kokolis, hashtag Peter Norvig, at Sundar Pichai, at WUS Press, hashtag WUS Pi, all regarding a set of Twitter posts. So this message came through from Nicholas Kokolis on my smartphone, and World University and School, the WS Corporation, is seeking to advance Pi's adoption and real-life applications by making it available to and distributing it to most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet. And we also seek to be a top-tier startup company. So we're spreading the message in these WUS News and Question and Answer. So WUS, as a startup, seeking to extend Stanford MindPi cryptocurrency to most of all 7.9 billion people on the planet from here, wiki.worlduniversityandschool.org org/wiki/u@World University and School, and to end poverty worldwide, and to create free universal education, as well as create wiki people to people free universal education, is seeking to do this. Further extend Pi adoption. Stay tuned and read the agenda item C further in these regards. So that's the WS News and question and answer on Monday, May 21st, 2025. I'll post the video recording of this to the main WS YouTube video channel, youtube.com/ Scott McLeod World University /videos, as well as to the main two Twitter feeds for World University and School, twitter.com/WORLD UNIVANDSCH, and twitter.com/WUAS Press, as well as to the blog posts for today, beginning Lava National Park, Lava Fields National Park, Lava Beds National Park in California, with images in those for the WS News and question and answer agenda and news for Monday, May 26th, 2025, beginning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So until next time, next Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, please let World University and School know if you know of prospective students who might want to matriculate at World University and School for free online degrees from home, at president@worlduniversityandschool.org. Worlduniversityandschool.org is our main beginning website as well. Until next time, bye for now. Have a great week.